It's amazing to me through all the years. We have the top blue, we have a bottom blue, which I actually like better.
Yeah.
And then we have the green, which I actually kind of dig a bit too. But it's funny how you go through changes, and it turned out great in the end for that time, period. But it's time for change.
It definitely is.
It's also really important when you do this every now and then to change. You don't have to do a major renovation, but just even small ones, because you get to clean the dust that's underneath. We're about to expose, I believe, an old mural we attempted when our son was really small. It was our attempt, as we're not artists in any way, shape, or form. It was a scene of some kind. I think it was a building, and I don't know, something with his cars and whatnot.
Huh.
That's right. The front. My son was really into frogs,
I think he
and
still is.
oh, for sure. But when he was little, he was really into frogs, and that was our attempt at a little mural off in a corner with some forest trees and the frogs. Oh my goodness. And I know there was some sort of building, because there's little squares here for windows underneath. And there must have been some sort of building or whatnot. And I believe like roads and cars, and we must have painted over that. But oh my goodness, yes. What you're about to see is not for the faint of heart. We are unveiling one of the most important pieces in this room. Oh shoot, the wrong box. No, this is it. Going to be so elegant in this room. We've got gold and black elements throughout this room, and as you can see, the black walls. I had shown parts of the walls not too long ago in pictures, but I wanted to, it's a mess in this room. Sorry about the glare from the sunny windows. Nice to see the sun though. But these, we painted it black, but then we realized it was showing a lot of the marks. So we had to last night we had to reapply the spackle. And then of course we had to prime it today. And this is the second coat of the primer. We're gonna try to just go back over those spots with the black. But we are doing a trim design on the walls. But right now Paul is unveiling. One of the most important pieces in the room is the ceiling fan, which is going to bring it all to life. And we're going to apply that, well, put it up soon. And when I say we, I say Paul. I'm just here for moral support. You've got this, honey. It's going to be great.
We've got this.
Yes.
All I need are my glasses.
Would you like mine?
No, I'm good.
Yeah. Mine are blinding to him. They're strong glasses. This beautiful fan is more modern and it has a touch of gold in it, and I just love it. I think it's going to be so sleek and chic in this room, which will be a bold modern design.
So a couple months ago I picked up these bifold doors at the side of the road. I knew I could use them for something. I wasn't sure at the time, so I brought them home and put them in the shed. But now that it's time to do Jacob's room, we're going to make a barn door closet door for this. We've already got the kit for the barn door. I'm going to use 3 of these panels and rip one of them down to make it the right width. And we're going to make a nice, I like a herringbone type pattern on it, some kind of a pattern with some luan on top. First we're going to paint these black So if any shows through the gap, we don't want any white showing through between the luan strips. So we're going to paint them black. That'll look a little bit better, I think. I'm going to take off all this hardware and fuse them all together. I need to rip this door down to the right width. I'm going to set up a straight edge for my circular saw to keep a nice straight line. So in cutting the extra off this door, we opened up this cavity here with no support, because these doors are only structural at the edges. So I ripped down some pieces of wood to fit into these areas. I can't put them everywhere because of these decorative cuts here. So I'm going to put them in the main pockets here, and put them here and here, and then some near the ends, and that will add the structure we need. So here we have the back of the barn door. I'm strapping these 3 doors together with these strips of luan. We're going to give it a coat of paint on this side. Then we're going to flip it over and do our herringbone technique on the other side. Okay, now we're getting ready to do our herringbone design. I'm going to bisect the door here. And then bisect each half, but made a mess. Make sure I have the right line. So I have it in 4 equal sections. So this will help us, hopefully, stay on track. Try not to use a squiggly line, that might confuse me a little bit. Now we just got to figure out the angle and the size of each piece, and then I'll go start cutting them. issues with my compressor. I won't get up to pressure, so we're going to do it the old-fashioned way. Take a little longer, but no big deal. I'm going to build a heater cover to cover up this heater. We covered this in a previous video if you need the instructions for this. But it's a great way to hide these ugly looking baseboard heaters.
We are almost done with Jacob's room, his redo, and I realized we haven't been filming half the stuff we're doing. So what was done we will explain after in our little outro. But what I'm doing is I have a little of the joint compound and a white canvas here. We just bought these. In fact, actually I should say that. I have bought these before, but these in particular were the size I needed and someone was getting rid of them. They were actually out on the lawn with the free sign on. I was really excited because they're in perfect condition. They are so clean and crisp. So I'm very excited. So this is going to be a free craft because I already had the joint compound. So if I haven't told you, we are doing Jacob's room redo in a bold modern design. So I want some modern art. So I'm going to take some of this joint compound and I'm going to put it on the canvas and I'm going to just kind of spread it around and just curvy shapes and whatnot. I'm going to put just a certain amount on there. Maybe put like a little something here. We're just creating a piece of art that you wouldn't find in a store, and it's from me, his mom. And again, I am not really an artist, but I thought it would be fun to do something kind of different. Just making kind of an arc shape and a little bit of a bloop down here. Not sure what I'm going to do with that little bloop, but I'm also going to have something going that way. Have fun with it. And the thing is, with old modern art, it's a little bit just different. I'm going to kind of do this at a certain angle. And then what I'm going to do is take my little tool with the teeth here and I'm going to go this way and rake it down so it has a cool texture to it. Make sure you smooth it out as you go. And then I'm going to go this way with that. You can't really mess this up. It's, you know, modern design here. You just want a cool texture. Just have fun with it. And the great thing is, before it dries, and you have plenty of time before it dries, you can always smooth it out and change it up. It's like when you were a kid and you were playing with Play-Doh. Isn't that fun? Honestly, I had a Christmas, no joke, where I asked for Play-Doh just because, as an adult, because it was just so fun and I enjoyed it a lot. So the thing is, if you are like, not feeling it, you can come back and smooth it. This is one of those projects where I could just spend hours doing this kind of thing. It's just a lot of fun. And now with the rake design, I'm going to just very lightly, with a light pressure, kind of smooth it out. Because I really want it to be smooth. Take that tool again. Sometimes it's just you have too much on there, so it's okay to do, because you can always edit. You know, plenty of time to edit. So, and I kind of like that there's some thick bits in there. I think that's kind of cool. And the thing is, if you wanted to later, you can kind of flake it off if you want to, but I kind of like that there's some like that. This white colored joint compound against the white canvas. So it may be hard to see, but so far, kind of liking it. It's going to be a little bit of like an abstract art. I have a little bit here, and I have a little bit here, and then I have this right there. So what I'm going to do is have another canvas, and they're going to be on each side of this TV. So I want to have them kind of looking like a repeated design, but I also want it to be somewhat different. So for the next one, I'm going to kind of do, I think somewhere around here. I'm going to do a little bit of a messy and a circular form here. And I can take with my fingers and make like a circle. And I kind of like the idea that it's making little swirls. I'm not trying to make it really perfect, and I'm not trying to make it smooth. I kind of like that there's ridges in it for the different layers. This time I'm going to go the length of the whole canvas, but only on that one side. I'm going to thicken it up. And again, I'm going to take my tooth and I'm going to make it a little bit wobbly. I'm not going to make it perfectly straight. And I realize I said with my tooth. With my, I don't even know what it is. With my tooth with the little teeth here. Not my teeth. That would be weird. I really just wanted it to be simple. I like the joint compound idea. I've seen it done before, and I really wanted to have my hand at it. What I like about it is it just kind of gives you like a thickness and some texture. It comes out onto the piece of artwork here. And basically all I'm doing is the white joint compound on the white canvas. And I just want to, I think, let me still do a little bit. I'm still kind of working on it, trying to perfect it a little bit here. The thing is, these were free, the joint compound I have around the house. If it doesn't turn out right, I will not be putting this in his room. But it's something that I wanted to give it a shot, something different, something that I created for him. And yeah, I'm going to probably add a little bit of color once it's dry. So I'm going to let this dry, and we're going to put them on his wall on each side of his TV if we like it, if it turns out okay. And when it's finished and we're happy with it, if we are, Paul is going to put like a little Luan strips here that'll be stained, and he's going to put that on the edges so it'll look like a nice framed photo. It's that simple, folks. It's really just a basic abstract art piece for his bold modern design room. That easy. And it was very quick. I did this within, because I took a little bit of time to really have fun with it. I'm really having fun with it. It really just took me about 15 minutes or less. It could probably even take someone who's very artistic, probably about 5. So it's really simple. I hope you enjoyed that project. So these are the paintings. Keep in mind, I'm an amateur, folks, but this was something I wanted to keep it bold and modern, just a very abstract type of art. But so, basically, because I didn't have the camera on at the time, we had actually run out of memory card, so I ended up just kind of going with it because we needed to get this on time. So what I did was, I didn't really paint this because it was a really good canvas. It was nice and, I mean, pure white. There wasn't dirty, anything on it. And this was something we got for free. Someone was getting rid of canvases. So that was great. They were in perfect condition, still in the plastic. So basically, if it wasn't, I would basically paint it with a white medium of some kind. But what I've decided to do is just go right over it. So if you remember, I was showing you, I used the raking tool that you would use in tiling or grout, just the joint compound, and we used a raking tool to rake it on once I put a decent amount on. You don't want it too thick, but I wanted to see these bumps. I wanted them to be really rough. And I did a little area here, and I did just kind of smudge this here just to kind of give it a little texture. And then with the white and blue paint, I had an old blue paint that it was oil-based, and I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out, and the white paint that I had was water-based. So would that work out? Well, it did, and I kind of mixed them together and gave just like a little wash over it. And I'm trying to give some elements of color in here, and blue, he has like blues in this room. It won't totally match perfectly with the blue, but I wanted to bring that out so it was still dark and gloomy with this moody type of feeling in here. Not gloomy, I shouldn't say gloomy, but with that moody type of feeling and that real dark, mysterious, warm, really warm, welcoming color. Unfortunately, I think in this room, and because it's so dark on the walls, I'm not sure you're going to get the exact experience like you would in person. I really hope it conveys on film, because it seems like when we do these makeovers, people will come to our home and after they've watched our video and say, oh my gosh, it did not at all show that on film. So unfortunately, we're just novices ourselves, so we're not camera people. So technicians. So because of that, you may not get the whole effect. So I hope you get an idea of what this room is in person. This room really is, it's just spectacular. And most importantly, our son loves it, and that's the most important thing. On this side, I used that oil-based paint, and I wanted it to have some white going through. So I just used that sponge brush, and I just wiped that on, and then I had made a circle in the middle just to kind of bring this over here. I realize now I probably should have just left it blue and white, but I liked adding a little bit of something to it. Our son seems to like these pictures, and I'm thrilled. If he takes it down a year from now, that's okay. It's just something to give him a little pop of color in this room. But this side, I didn't do anything at all. I just used a joint compound, used the raking tool, and this with my finger, I made like a circle. And you would get that texture. So I just wanted texture in the room, and I wanted a little bit of splash of color. Paul is going to make a frame right now to frame this picture so it looks more put together and finished. So these are the pieces of art, and we're going to move it on each side of the television. We have an issue with cords hanging from the TV. Because they're black on black, my son is okay with it. We're going to leave it for now, but I imagine somewhere down the road, just to make it more professional, I think we're going to find a solution for the cords. Right now, they're going to stay the way they are. We're on a time frame. We have a lot of projects coming up in the future, so because of that, we wanted to just leave them for now. We'll do a last scan in a little bit of the whole room, and hopefully you'll be able to see it, but Paul's going to make the frames first.
Okay, so I've got these strips of wood. I'm going to rip them down to the depth of the canvas, about 9/16 of an inch. After quick sanding, we're going to give them a quick coat of stain. So here I've miter cut those pieces to fit as a frame. I'm just going to drill some pilot holes and attach some of these finish nails. So there we are. The frame's not perfect, but it definitely gives it more of a finished look. Now I'm going to build one for the next painting.
So hopefully you can see the elements in the room, as it is very dark in here, which was something we were going for, but how it relates on film, I don't know. So what we have is, we had painted the door black because pretty much all the walls were black except for this accent wall behind the bed. Accent walls are kind of going out of style slightly. We don't care. We never do everything by the book, but it was what seemed right to break up some of that dark black around and also add a really nice wood element. We didn't necessarily want it rustic, but we wanted to have something natural in the room so it wasn't all dark and moody. But it gave something, especially because he had a black headboard. So this basically gave it something to break it up. And this lamp here we had found from a tag sale. We have a townwide tag sale every year, and this particular one was found not this past year but the year before that, and that was great. We knew we wanted it, we just didn't know where it belonged, and now we know it belongs in here. So it added some of those blues and browns, and it brought everything to life in this room here. Then we have this great barn door that Paul had built, and the track was from Amazon. I'm going to scooch in front of the camera here so you can see. We have it's a beautiful sliding barn door, nice and smooth. And if you remember from a past video, we had done the closet over, so it's nicely organized. And then beautiful barn door to finish it off. The sliding kit for the main hardware for the barn door was from Amazon. I will leave links the best I can on the page of this video. The closet doors were actually bifold closet doors, as you could see in the video in the beginning. Paul was cutting them. So we did the back of the bifold doors, not the paneled side. So by doing that, we had painted it, primed it and painted it black, and then put the Luan strips to make a herringbone pattern to somewhat, not be exact copy, but to somewhat mimic some of this, to kind of bring it together. To do the whole wall in the herringbone would have been way too much work, and honestly, I think we would have gotten annoyed with it. He would have gotten, our son would have been frustrated with it as well down the road. So it's enough of a simple accent wall, and we did more of the herringbone on the closet door. It comes together a little bit better. We did have some mishaps with it, as in the herringbone wasn't totally coming together perfectly because we don't have the best of tools, but with what we had, we made it work. And some of the spots where they were a little bit rougher and maybe there was a little bit of the door showing through, I had gone in with some black paint and some dark stain and tried to get in those cracks with a Q-tip, and that really helped a lot. And then I did somewhat of a black wash over that stain just so it brought a little bit more rusticness to it, and we really love how it came out. And then we have over here, my son had a game chair for the longest time, and we never knew exactly where to put it. He still plays video games, but it was not as much anymore, but it's a great seat for him to have. What's great about this is he has storage underneath as well. And inside that chair, it kind of lifts up so he can put some extra blankets or whatever he wants in there. This chair was bought from Target probably over a decade ago, so I don't have a link for that, but it's a great faux leather chair. It has speakers on the side, and he's able to use it for a media chair of some kind, but he loves that chair in the corner. So the pillow, it's a gray pillow, but I added the Christmas touch to it because we're slowly starting to decorate for Christmas, and I thought I'll do it now. This pillow I had bought years ago from Amazon. It comes with another pillow that's white with black trees, so I gave him this one for his chair to just give a little festive touch in here. It can be removed, and then he'll have a great pillow under that. A blanket I've had for years. I actually used to have a membership to the FabFitFun, if you know what that is. It's a subscription service where they give you a lot of products to try from different companies, and this was one of the products, was a blue blanket. It was like a bluish gray, so I thought that really worked well in here. This rug here was from Amazon that we picked out. Our son had picked it out. He wanted this geode feeling, and we thought it would brighten up this space where it's all dark in here. And it really works well. It's all these different blues because the accent color in here is really different forms of blue. We do have different types of wood going on in here, different shades of it, and it's okay. It's okay to mix woods. And this particular bedding here, it's a duvet cover with shams. This whole set came as a set from Amazon. We had gifted him that for his birthday, knowing that we'd be doing his room soon. And he picked it out. He wanted this taupe brown, and it works well because it has kind of that sandy color that you can find around, like even in the rug, the sand and the gold. And we wanted gold accents. That pillow he's had for a while. He sits up in bed sometimes and it works well, but I don't know if you'll be able to see it very well, but this ceiling fan, the light's pretty bright, but it's a beautiful fan with a gold trim on it. It's beautiful, and it works so smooth. It has many speeds. That was from Walmart, and it was great. It's walmart.com, and it came actually very quickly, and it's beautiful quality. Our son has an ukulele, so we hung that on the wall. So if you can see that, it's hard to see, I know, I'm sorry folks, but this that dark stain wood looks so good against the black paint. And then the curtains were another thing to brighten it up. These were from Amazon. We bought 2 pairs, so I believe they were $60 total from Amazon. I'll leave that link as well. And the gold rod here, again, bringing in some of that gold against the black, looks so great. These are high quality rods, folks. I will leave the link for that as well, from Amazon. They screw in together, so there's no spring to it. There's no trying to just shove it in like some rods will do. This is actually a screwed in, very strong, tough, heavy rod. It's really, really great. This piece, if you remember, we had fixed up. It was really chewed up. We had bought from someone, I believe it was $10 on Facebook Marketplace, and we had cleaned it up with some paint and stain. I had a stain pen. I had a kit that I bought from Amazon a long time ago, and that's great because it got a lot of the scratches and the dings and the roughness. It cleaned all that up. The vase, the wood vase I had from years ago, which I believe it was from home, like a home goods store many, many years ago. I'm going to say about 15, 20 years ago, but it was a shiny cherry wood and it was really dinged up. So what we did was we sanded it down and did a stain that we had. I believe it was the dark walnut stain, and we brought it back to life. And it's more of a matte finish, a rougher finish, and we love it. It looks so great in here. It gives them that another piece of wood in here. That vase there, next to it, that white vase, that cream colored vase, was picked up for free. Someone was getting rid of. It's in perfect condition. It's adorable, and it's something he can put some greenery in there, or he can leave it the way it is. He has a Himalayan salt lamp, and that works out well. He has that. So we've already put our wreaths out, if you remember from last week's video. So then we have these art that we had, canvases that we had found someone was getting rid of for free, and they were perfect. They were still in the plastic, so they were not dirty. They didn't have anything on them, so I was able to use those free canvases, paint with paint that I already had, joint compound I already had, wood that we had, because we save everything, and these we made a frame on these corners here, and we have artwork for the wall. You don't have to spend a lot of money for artwork. Art can be very expensive, and we wanted just a little bit of artwork in his room to bring a little color. So the whites and blues I brought back in. This vase was also being given away for free. It's in perfect condition. It's actually an Earl de Rocher vase, and we love it. And we put a little bit of faux greenery from the Dollar Tree, and that gold cone was actually someone was getting rid of as well for free. It works out perfect in here for the holidays, but also that little element of gold again. And that piece of pottery we had bought from a Goodwill a long time ago. I want to say we paid $8 for it. It's a very sturdy, tough, heavy piece of pottery. I love it. Pottery can be very expensive, and I was looking for something like that and found it at a Goodwill. So that worked out beautiful. This used to be our coffee bar that we made. It's a console table. We now have given to our son with that little driftwood top, which again, it's another element of a different type of wood, but it works in here and it brightens up this whole area here, and he's able to keep some storage there. The floor was also brand new. We had put over it's an elevated vinyl flooring. What's great about that is they make such great vinyl flooring now. Long ago it was awful, and now they make much better quality. So this was very inexpensive at Lowe's. I believe it was maybe $1.15 a foot, about $1.20, maybe even $1.40. I'm trying to remember. If I can find it, I'll leave the link. But it was from Lowe's. It has like a gray and brown wash. It's a great room, and it works. I mean, great flooring, and it works out really beautifully with this room. So also the trim work is, they're furring strips, so they're a lot cheaper, but we really sanded the heck out of them to make them not as rough. And they're what's giving the trim around the door, around windows, around the accent walls, around the flooring trim there at the bottom. So that's it, folks. We hope that you could see everything well, and we love it. Most importantly, our son loves it, and he was a well-deserved candidate of a room change. He's in his early 20s, and honestly, it's something, he worked so hard and he deserved this. So we're thrilled to finally have finished this room, as we've been slowly working on elements for it, waiting for things to arrive in between other projects, and finally he can enjoy this room. We hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching. Hi.
Hey there.
So, a very tiring and busy week, but oh my goodness, was it worth it.
We're so happy with how it came out. It was a long process, right? A little frustrating at times, but
yes,
it came together in the end.
Yes. If we haven't said it before in the beginning, we had started this project like a little over a week ago.
Right.
So in doing that, I forget what we said then. So I'm hoping I introduced the fact that we were doing Jacob's room over.
Yes.
Jacob is our son. He is our editor and publisher. He's sometimes the go-to guy behind the camera. He also has a full-time job, but he does this for us because we are not tech savvy. So we have ideas and we do all this stuff in front of the camera, but he's behind it a lot.
It was a labor of love.
It really was for Jacob, because he is the hardest working guy ever. I mean, he really is one of them. I know there's a lot of hardworking people out there, but he's really fantastic. He really is fantastic. He has such a great attitude about everything, and this was a well-deserved, worthy client. This was cool because I got to be an interior decorator again. I haven't done that in a long time, unless it's for our home, and this wasn't our home. but my son became our client,
Right.
Our son. And I honestly say, this is something that was new to us because we are a certain type of decor that we have.
Right.
We're not the decor. We have a certain type of style
Right.
that we like, and it's kind of in flux right now. We don't really know what our style is right now, but we know it's more modernized. We still love rustic, but we don't want it that rustic. So we're kind of going in a more modern direction, which kind of worked out nice. Segue Jacob's design is bold, modern design. I had him take a quiz, an interior decorating quiz, which I loved because it was very accurate. And I believe it was Jessica Morris was the interior designer who developed it. It's a great, great quiz. If you look her up, you can find her quiz, and it will give you the style that you are. And for him, it was bold, modern design, and it absolutely fit him perfectly. So we kind of stemmed from that, and I went, okay. And I started coming up with some colors. And here's the thing. Jacob likes color, but he doesn't like color,
More muted?
Yes, and he
tones?
doesn't want it drained out with a white backdrop. He really, really wanted something moody and artistic. And so I have to tell you, I was nervous, but I was ready. I thought, why not? Let's go black paint.
I was excited to see how it turned out. Yeah.
So we went ceiling, walls, everything. And oh my God, is it classy. Love it.
It looks fantastic. I don't know. I hope it comes across on film.
I really hope
as
so.
good as it is in person, because it came out really nice.
Yes. So as you know, we are, as we've mentioned before, we're not photographers or videographers by trade. So we're kind of learning the ropes as we go. Our son actually taught himself this stuff. He went to school for something different, for computer science and for math. So this isn't his natural background either. Luckily, it's the day and age that we live in. Younger people know this type of thing, but also he's very aware of this type of stuff, and he knows computers. But so he's able to do what he can, but we can't always convey on film what it looks like in person. So I really hope you can see this.
I hope so too. Like a lot of times, at least for me when I'm doing a project, I'll point the camera at the project and turn it on, and that's it. I don't make any adjustments really. I just kind of, because I'm focused on what I'm doing more than being on the camera. So.
We're both learning though, and if you notice some older videos of ours, we tend to be like our heads chopped off and we're talking away and we don't realize, you only see from here down, you don't see our head, but we think we're on camera talking to you. Sometimes we're talking away and realize, oh, it wasn't even recording. It actually happened.
That did just happen this week.
It just happened a lot. So there's some footage missing, and I apologize for that. A couple times our battery died, we didn't even know because we were deep into the project. But we're hoping it conveys on film what we were doing. So the bold modern design. So it was the black painted walls and ceiling, and we wanted dark stained wood elements, and we wanted a little splash of color, and Jacob went with blue. So we did add some bits of grays and blues to kind of help it a little bit. But oh my gosh, it is, and there's different types of woods going on in there, and I wasn't sure if that was going to work, but I absolutely love it. He absolutely loves it. I've caught him a few times just peeking in on his room, and that was really exciting, because that's the best compliment a mom and a designer can have, is when someone's just reveling in the room. Yeah. And I have to tell you, I've sneaked in a few times and just stared. It really is beautiful.
And space,
and you know what? It does fit in with the rest of our home. Even though it stands out a little bit, it really does flow well. Because we're going in that direction, a more modern direction, but it has rustic elements. So anyway, all of that to say, and the reason I'm going on and on about this is because I can't remember what I had in the beginning or what we might have told you. And like Paul said, we may not have had the camera on a lot, so we're missing a lot of footage. So some of the projects that didn't make it, we had this wooden vase we had gotten a long time ago. It was really shiny cherry wood, and it had a lot of dings all over it. Probably
paint splattered on. It was messed up.
It was, and probably 20 years ago we had, and I kept saying, I'm going to keep it, I'm going to do something with it. Perfect for this room. So we sanded it down, restained it, and it's in his room. We had picked up, I don't know what it is with our town lately, but everyone's getting rid of so many things. And oh my gosh, do these people have great taste. This is not like everyday free stuff, folks. This is like really beautiful things. So people are getting rid of vases and pottery and just beautiful things. Even canvases, perfect condition canvases. So I was able to do some homemade art for his walls. We had also picked up this one item we saw on Facebook Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace, and it was like a TV center.
Entertainment center?
Yeah.
The low, they could put a big TV on top of it.
Yeah, and it had doors on the side and shelves, and it was just great, but it was really dinged up. So
we fixed it up?
We did, which was maybe a week or two ago.
That on the video.
A couple weeks ago, I think
yeah.
we showed. And that looks fantastic. And that's a great unit in there. We had an old console table that used to be our coffee bar. We had fixed up and put in his room. A lamp, I had picked it from a tag sale for like $10. Oh my gosh, the colors were like, could not be more perfect for his room. It brought a little splash of color with blues and greens, and it looks like a geode. It's awesome. And the also looks kind of like a geode was his rug. He picked that out. He wanted that. So we put little elements of blues and grays. So we had laid some luxury vinyl plank flooring, some new bedding, and just brought the elements all together. The ceiling fan is fantastic.
Very cool.
It was from Walmart. It's sold by Walmart. And oh my gosh,
it has a remote control, all these different speeds and different light settings. That's pretty cool.
It's so cool. It has the black and gold. We have a lot of black and gold going in that room. Sorry that we missed some really cool elements in there, but we show a breakdown of some of the things that we did, and I apologize for when the battery died or we didn't get footage in there. But this was a long, trying week, but oh my gosh, what kept us going and motivated, because we're a lot slower nowadays, was Jake was our client, and we wanted this perfect for him. And we're perfectionists as much as possible for what we have on our budget. The herringbone pattern on the closet is beautiful, but we don't have the proper tools, and because of that, it gets a little roughed up.
It was a pain. It was a pain to do the
it was, but we did the best we could to kind of touch up and make it work. We thought of putting some wood slats in between, and it would have ruined the whole...
Oh, to cover the seams, yeah.
Yeah, it would have ruined that integrity of the design. So we're hoping we covered it the best we could. Either way, those are maybe some of the things that we would have went, but honestly, when you're looking in that room, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
So we hope that you like this room. We hope that you can see it well, because everything is very dark in a lot of ways, but it's not gloomy, it's not strange, it's absolutely peaceful and stunning and so relaxing. I love it, and most importantly, Jake loves it, because it doesn't matter if we love it or not. If he loves it, that's what's important. So we hope that you do too. We hope that you've been enjoying our videos. If you like this type of video, please press a thumbs up, a like.
Yes, and subscribe if you could, if you're not already. And if you are, thank you very much for the support.
Yes, it really helps support our channel, so thank you.
Thank you. And we hope you have a very happy Thanksgiving.
Yes,
and
Thanksgiving next week.
Yeah,
yes, happy Thanksgiving.
Time is going by so fast. It's hard to keep track of what's,
It is.
We've got some exciting holiday content and other content coming up. So please stay tuned, because we've got some great projects coming.
Yes, we do. It's our busy season. So stay tuned for holiday fun coming your way.
And hijinks.
And always hijinks. We don't know if it'll always make it on camera, but we'll have another blooper reel somewhere down the road, I'm sure. Yeah, we're a bunch of goofballs, but hopefully we're professional enough when you see us on film. But anyway, again, happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.